These super mini, lightweight, and foldable bikes are becoming more and more popular. 6 months ago, I saw maybe 1 or 2 a month. Now I see about 1 to 2 a week. So if you're looking to get yourself one of these monkey bikes, well, that's what me and my brother call them, this is a good option for under $500. So let's get to it, starting off with a speed test. This is the speed test, and I'm going to do this test with a throttle because pedal assist only gives you 50% power, where throttle gives you 100%, so I want to show you how fast this bike can actually go. And the throttle is a full twist throttle, no half twist on this bike. I've got a full battery and my speed app open. Let's see how fast I can get. The V1 is rated up to 15 miles per hour, which is what I got, and matches the other brand I've reviewed in this price range. The V1 has a 240 watt brushless motor in the rear wheel, and that is the smallest motor for a bike in this price range. Now that's powered by a 36 volt 10 amp hour lithium battery that takes 6 hours to recharge and ties for the largest battery in this price range. It does weigh 42 pounds, but it does have a weight capacity of 265. I decided to do a comparison between pedal assist and throttle, even though the bike doesn't give full power for pedal assist. I wanted to show you how fast it could go and how long it takes to get there with a nice and steady cadence. And as you can see, while on pedal assist, I only topped out at 9 miles per hour. Now both are very slow, the slowest out of any bike I've reviewed. So if you like a nice and gentle start, this is the bike for you. It took me almost 25 seconds to top out while using the throttle. This is the range test. I should get up to 37 miles. I've got a full battery, just barely unplugged it a few minutes ago. And I'm gonna use straight throttle for this test. I've got a nice trail down here by the river. Let's see how far I can go. Here's everything I liked and didn't like about the V1. Now, believe it or not, I actually see a lot of these types of bikes out on the trails. They're becoming very popular. My favorite thing about them is that you can just take them and do little challenges. You know, they can just turn on a dime, and so you can just find a little park area, get your buddies, and then just have a little challenge or obstacle course, which I've done many times with the other model that I reviewed with my brother. You know, if you get into a little hairy situation, you can easily put your foot down and, you know, stop yourself from crashing. That's the thing I like most about these bikes. They're just super easy to manage and handle. Now they've designed this with a V-shaped stainless steel frame. It's a different looking bike with that big, fat, and wide tube going right through the middle. Now apparently I read on their website that that design actually increases the strength of the frame. And it does collapse, not down all the way, but the handlebars do fold down and the pedals also collapse and fold in. It does make it small enough where you can fit it in the back seat of your car. There's no cracking or squeaking or ticking that you sometimes get on these foldable bikes, and that usually happens where the handlebars fold or the frame folds, and so far it's been very quiet. Now being a mini bike, I do feel a little bit top heavy on this. The size rating is from 4'9" to 5'9", and you can't raise the seat, it is fixed. I'm 5'11", and feel pretty monstrous on this. I can pedal, but it is pretty uncomfortable. My knees are coming up above my waist. This is definitely a bike where if you're tall, you're just gonna wanna hit the throttle and just cruise on down the trail. And if you hold that throttle for 6 seconds, it does engage the cruise control, which is a nice feature. I do like that. The handlebars are a good size for the frame of the bike. I actually don't feel that cramped. And they can be adjusted with this latch here. You just have to unloosen it. The grips are like a hard plastic. They look cool, but aren't that comfortable. This is a single gear bike, so you don't have any shifting levers up here. You just keep the pedals turning and it gives you power. And like I said before, I don't do a lot of pedaling on this. I just go straight throttle. It's a more comfortable ride going that route. Pedal assist sensitivity is pretty much non-existent. Like I can't tell when it stops and I can't tell when it kicks in. It doesn't deliver that much power when you're pedaling, and so it's hard to tell when it actually starts giving power. I've never seen that on a bike before. Usually I can feel when the power kicks on, but this one I can't. Now this is a full suspension bike, which is kind of funny to even say when you just look at it. It doesn't look like something like this would have full suspension, but it does. And it's a cheaper suspension too. But I'm kind of just bouncing on it right now, and I can feel it kind of giving an inch or two. It's better suspension than I was expecting for a bike less than $500. And you do have 12-inch air-filled tires, which always makes the ride a little bit better. Now those tires are anti-skid and puncture resistant, and they just look pretty cool. I've never seen tires that look like that before. I did the test in 2 trips and ended up getting 15.11 miles.
I did make a mistake and failed to hit the record button about 3 miles on one of the trips, so I'm going to say it has a range of 18 miles. And most of the last battery bar was left, so I might have gotten 20 if I rode till it gave out. Elevation gain wasn't a lot at just over 500 feet. There were a couple of small hills along the trail. Well, this is the no power test. I just laugh every time I pedal this thing because I look like a clown on one of those little clown bikes at the rodeo. I'm going 6 miles an hour, which is pretty slow. This is a flat part of the trail too. I would definitely not want to pedal this for very long without power. My legs are already getting a pretty good burn, and I've only gone about 100 yards.
Okay, it's time for a hill test. This is one about 2 blocks long, and it's 10% grade. I did measure this a couple weeks ago. The bike's rated to climb a 15% hill, so it should be able to make it up pretty easy. I'm gonna pedal as I make my way up, along with using the throttle, and see how fast I can go.
Okay, I've got my speed app open, and I do have a full battery. Here we go.
First little climb, going 9 miles an hour. It flattens off up here a little bit before the steep part comes. Okay, starting to climb here, down to 8, down to 7. Feeling some good pressure in the pedals. Holding at 7. Coming up over the top, still holding at 7. And there we go. I haven't reviewed a lot of bikes in this category, so I don't have a lot to compare this bike to. Pretty slow at 7 miles per hour, but still got me up here. Okay, I'm at the top of the hill. I just came up for the hill test, which most of you guys could have guessed that. It's time to do a brake test. The bike does have dual disc brakes, so a lot of braking power for such a small bike. I'm gonna take off down the hill, hit them about halfway down, and see how well they stop.
That was a little terrifying. Jeez, they do pulsate a little bit, but they do have pretty good stopping power. I stopped on the steepest part of this hill and probably within 15-20 feet. Before I end the review, let me walk you through the screen and controls.
Okay, well, the screen is pretty basic. I mean, all it shows is just battery life. Down here is the power button. Over on the left is the light switch, on and off. And the lights actually look pretty cool. It's got this red casing around it, and the horn speaker, as you can see, is above it. Also has the tail lights with a rear reflector, and that does flash when the brakes are applied. Well, something cool about this bike, it does come with a remote, and so you can lock it. There we go. And then if you move it, once it's locked, that back tire does lock up, and obviously you got the alarm going off, which is kind of cool. And then to unlock it, there you go. Then you can also turn the bike on. There we go. And as you can see, the power is on.
The V1 comes with an IPX54 rating, which protects from water jets at any angle, a 1-year warranty, and is being sold on Amazon for $489. Overall, if you're around my weight of 185 pounds, here's what you can expect. A top speed of 15 miles per hour while using the throttle. A very slow acceleration, the slowest in this class, taking 25 seconds to top out. A range of around 18 to 20 miles through fairly flat terrain with 502 feet of elevation gain. Hill climbing ability is slow, but got me to the top of a 10% slope at 7 miles per hour. And brakes aren't the best. They do pulsate, but they are quiet and have some good stopping power. Now, you always have to take price into consideration when making a judgment call about a bike. And that being said, I thought the V1 did a pretty good job. I've got the link over to Amazon if you want to pick it up. Now, before you go, hit that like button, and please subscribe for the latest in electric bike, board, and scooter reviews. Thanks for watching, and take care.